Welcome, future masters. This is section 2, the easy section. Okay, we did the super easy section up to 642. This one's going to be over 700. So what happens here is I see an oddball formation. You don't normally see the king sitting on G2 with no pawn protection. So anytime I see something odd, I want to focus on it. So let me try to check him. Queen H3 check. He's got two moves. King G1, King F1. Well, I don't care. Whatever he plays. Queen takes H2. That's a checkmate, sir. This is a mate in two. Check. Because his king is oddly placed and weak alive. This is because he had weak squares. His light squares were weak. And we were able to infiltrate. So, that's an infiltration check. Infiltration. And it's really funny. In the books I read, I'm going to give you all these different terms that I use that are not listed in any of the books that I read. But they make these concepts so much easier to understand. It's because I have been trained in science my entire life. And math, and chess, and music, well, whatever. So here, this is a variation of Mo, Larry, and Curly. When I check him on C3, I get Mo. Larry comes from my pawn blocking him on C3. So I get Mo, I get virtual Larry, and I get Curly. Well, when I see my boys, I'm looking to checkmate a guy. So C3 check, king to any square, it doesn't matter. Rook to G1 check, the back rank attack, and I take this rook for free. Rook to G1 check, rook takes free rook, checkmate. Three Stooges come through successfully once again. My boys. So, I'm the only guy that would ever conceive of teaching chess lessons using Mo, Larry, and Curly. No. Okay, this is a decoy. I'd sure love to play knight c2. Problem is he would just take it. Knight takes free knight. That's what my father would say. So I'm going to take knight takes knight, rook takes, and then jackpot. Now, of course, you have to look out for other tactical things, but I've looked and there's nothing. And the thing is, as your rating gets higher, your ability to scan for traps and surprise moves increases. But you have to always be careful because even grandmasters make mistakes. Not that I'm a grandmaster because I'm not close. But that is a decoy. We decoyed the rook to the bad square and then capitalized by knight c2, forking him. Oh, look at this. This is an easy checkmate. This bishop is pinned, therefore any square it guards, h6, f6, f8, and h8 aren't guarded. Well, you're not guarded. I'm going to take this rook and shove it here and checkmate you. That is a pinned defender. He guards nothing, as you saw. Whoops. This is the whoops. Now my eye comes to this. All right, and I got to mention this too. You have something called the chess eye. Again, no one ever refers to this except me. I don't know why, but the chess eye sees, ooh. I got a pawn fork for king and rook. Protected, I'm going to win a rook. The chess eye sees this first. The chess brain goes, you're not the checkmate, buddy. Pawn fork is what that is. That's a pawn fork. My dad hated being pawn forked. I mean, I hate it too, but my dad hated it like you wouldn't believe. Here, hopefully you guys saw it again. Mo, Larry, Curly. So in this case, we can't back rank him directly, but we can because we're going to use the variation of the Three Stooges known as the bump and score. Bump, score. So, bump and score, BNS. I don't even write it down, it's too long. I just write BNS. Oh, look. Oddball situation. My queen is in the what is known as the weak square complex. Which, remember when I checkmated that guy on queen E3, H3 check and queen takes H2? This is the same idea. That we're in the weak squares. The dark square bishop, my father says this is the cobra. He belongs on G7. And you see why now. Well, what happens here is that the dark squares are weak because the bishop and queen are not able to get to them. So our bishop is super powerful on the long diagonal because the cobra is not at home. If this knight was like on, over here somewhere and bishop was on G7, he'd be good. We could trade him, but he would not be destroyed. He's destroyed here. This is what is known as weak square complex. Okay. Oh, this is going to be ugly. We're going to set this guy up for a discovered attack with check, which is different than that discovered check. So what we want to do is, if we play bishop takes bishop, we're attacking this guy's queen. But he could, get away and survive. But not if I play the right move first. So, what happens if I check this guy? Knight to E7 check. Doesn't do anything materially, except it forces his king to one square. And I have a rule that says when you check a king in attack and he's only got one square, you're probably winning. Well, guess what? My rule is right again. Knight E7 check. Hopefully now you see the difference. Check. Goodbye, queen. Rook takes free queen is what my father would say. So that was discovered attack with a check. Now here's a classic one that I named recently. It's really obvious and powerful, but again, no one ever calls it what I call it. I call this the unblockable diagonal. This B3 to G8. If I can put a bishop or a queen on this diagonal, he can't block it. It's checkmate. Hey, look, queen C4. That's on the diagonal. Crunch. Unblockable diagonal. This is some absolute gold. Because this gives you names for things that are quite valuable. Oh, look. Same story. This is a slightly different version. Same idea. You see the F7 pawn is missing. That should trigger you to go, well, let's look. This makes this diagonal weak when this is gone. So, oh, I got a bishop that can go there. Bishop can go here. Now he can play pawn to G6. Bishop takes pawn would be checkmate. Whoops. Can't block the diagonal, so you got to take it. Knight takes bishop. Queen takes knight check. And then, well, he's getting checkmated. This is unblockable diagonal, like level 2. Crunch. And now we have completed the easy section, problem 20. So, pretty fast too, and almost 9 minutes. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Let's go to section 3. I'll see you in a couple.